Okay, here we are. Okay, this isn't even got frames or anything, because I haven't set anything up for just 2 people. But this is Brock. He's also known as a bunch of other things. Guardsman, Saint Guard, and something else.
Those are usually the only 2.
Oh, okay.
My gamer tag's usually Guardsman, but, like, Twitch name is Saint Guard, so you can do that.
There you go. You can go follow him. You're probably watching this on his channel. Anyway. So, we're going to be making him a character for this game.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, you know almost nothing about Free Spacer.
This is true. I know very little.
Okay.
Only what I've read.
What should I walk you through first? Okay. So, do you know some sci-fi, right?
I know some sci-fi. That is a thing.
Okay. So,
I have some knowledge of that.
Yeah, Free Spacer is kind of a combination of a bunch of different kind of science fictions. It's Heinlein and all sorts of like inspirations and stuff. It's imagine if you had like the tools from Star Trek, but you did the things like you do in Firefly or other things where you're in a small ship with only a small crew of like 3 to 6 people kind of thing. Yeah. And you kind of like in Traveler, you don't have Ansible, so you can't just call back to the Federation every 5 seconds and go, hey, what should we do? Should I wait my bum? Or whatever every 5 seconds. So other things that have is we're science fiction that has the internet. We call it the data flow. And you carry that with you at all time. So do you have the internet? Literally, you have the entire internet. So you have that at all times and everything. So the last crew have just finished a mission. One of them will be leaving, and you're going to be replacing him. One other might be. I'm still talking. Anyways, so they just finished a mission for their patron. And in that sessions, which you can see if you watch the other videos in the scene, is pretty much they did a job for their patron particularly, and we're hunting down and finding Marquita Rue, which the XMI, which is their patron corporation, considers terrorists. And so they kind of found them via all of their terrorist attacks recently. They also discovered during that there were ancient aliens that the Marquita Rue were investigating in their own manner. So,
ooh.
Anyways, so the setting, as you can see, is behind there, but we could also talk about the sheet, or about the game, or about how commissioning works. Where should we start? What do you think?
I think we should start with the setting, because I know very little about it.
Okay, so in Free Spacer, you get to make up a good chunk of your own setting. So the core setting aspects are, the exploration wars happened. They ended. A soul system society was part of it. There was a group that was once in charge of everything, and they were called Old Gold. They could be called anything now, but they used to be called Old Gold. Or that's what they're called now. That's like the old name for them. So like, right. Old Gold, back during the Golden Age. That sort of comments are said often. And the war ended after like 500 years, entirely because the other 3 quadrants got fed up with it and gave them anagathics to stop it. And anybody who signed the Accords got anagathics first, so those who signed earlier and already had good holdings basically went defensive, stopped fighting, and their leaders and their people became semi-immortal, and we're very happy about that, and stopped the war.
Nice.
And being anagathic makes you win wars after a while, even if you go full defensive.
Is anagathic is that sort of like a transition to transhumanism, or is it just like you're semi-immortal and that's the only part of it?
You're semi-immortal. You can keep kind of doing it, but there's like a kind of a flaw in it a little bit. You go into something called a rebirth every couple hundred years, or when you're shot in the face and you don't get shot again. So if you really want to kill somebody, you gotta double tap and shoot them while they're rebirthing, right? So if you get stuck in space or something, you're dead. But if you just fall down out of a tree and die, you form a cocoon around your body, which is a lot like whatever your birth is. So if you're an egg species, you are in a very large egg again. If you're a human or something, it's a little grosser. But you basically form a big cocoon, and then you wake up, and you're not really you anymore. You're slightly different, kind of Doctor Who. You wake up as a different person with some of the same memories and some of the same stuff, but you can be quite different. And you go through, basically, you recommission your character.
Okay.
And
okay. Yeah. That's recreate your character.
You kind of recreate your character. Some of the things stay the same, some of them don't, depending if you have medical attention or not.
Okay.
Also, the way that loot and stuff works in this game, like way all that stuff is you don't just pick up gold pieces off the dungeon floor. You actually use a thing called a salvage project to get it. So you can salvage people and get materials out of them, which you can use to re-advance your character. So, say you die, and your friends are nice enough to bring you with you back to the ship. They could salvage you, rebirth you, then use all of the material they get out of that to give you your advancements, some of your advancements back.
Oh.
Depending on what they do.
That's cool. Huh.
Other little things about the game you might want to know is it's got one core mechanic, which we use for most everything, but the advanced mechanics are called projects. Projects include negotiation, salvage, travel, investigation, fabrication, construction, and retirement.
Okay.
Notice combat's not an advanced mechanic in this game.
I would
the same way as everything else does.
Interesting.
So that's different than, like, say, Dungeons and Dragons. The advanced mechanics are obviously combat.
Yeah,
they got a bunch of extra rules for it, because otherwise you're just skills.
Right.
Although you could say the regular rules are combat, and then skill rolls are the de-advanced mechanic, but yeah.
The simple mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you... Whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so that's a little bit about the game work. The game uses those opposing die pool system that I told you about, and your character sheet's up on the screen. So this is the Roll20 character sheet that I built. I need to get into API to make it a little bit better. It's got dice rollers next to every skill. And then below every skill, you see indented are specialties. And you can see they're marked with dice. And then, because that's how many dice you're going to roll.
Okay.
So, are you looking at the sheet?
I am looking at the sheet.
Okay.
I'm looking at it being like, I understand how this goes. This is sort of like World of Darkness-esque.
Yeah, this mechanic's a little bit like that, except you don't have as many skill things, and you can never upgrade your skills, but you can add specialties.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. You got those stuck in. But
each of them is called... having one dice, you're untrained. Having 2 dice means you're trained. Having 3 dice can only be got if you have expertise, and you only get expertise in your 2 stations. So if you want to be awesome at piloting, you're always going to be better if you're a pilot.
Right.
Also, you tend to get more points in that general area anyways. They're also organized, as you can see, into what's called departments. There's the communications department, the operations department, the engineering department. This only matters because at the beginning of every session, you can move your specialty points around within the department. You can move 1 point around.
Oh.
You can also move 1 trained to an untrained and reduce it. This is what's considered kind of natural learning. This is what we do in real life. We just kind of move things around.
Okay.
If you want to upgrade something, it's advancement, and that's actually closer to biotech surgery.
Fun.
So you can never upgrade your character if you're stuck on a little island, but if you get a bunch of stuff and complex materials, yay, you can be super advanced. But there's upkeep. We'll talk about that all later. Anyway, so we need to commission your character.
Yeah, let's do it.
So you can see there's different parts of the character sheet. There's the aspects. These, what you're choosing various stuff about your character, and then for most of them, for about half of them, you're going to get your skill points out of that.
Okay.
Like a Chinese menu style, you get 1 point. You get an expertise in athletics, which gives you both those points, plus 2 specialty skills, plus this point kind of thing.
Okay.
Skill packages. Across from that, you'll see the species section. And this basically defines everything about your species. The species are all... Part of what we're doing today is probably making a species. Or you can choose one of the ones we already have.
I was thinking.
You like one of those, do you?
I might be making a human character, but we're gonna see. We'll see.
Yeah, lots of people tend to lean towards it. It's interesting.
I mean, the last sci-fi thing I did was play Prey, so a lot of that human versus non-human conflict in that game. So I might go human. We'll see. We'll see.
That's less huge in this game because the societies and stuff aren't species based. So let's talk about the societies that we currently have.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to show the sheet to everybody on this, but that's okay because I don't have your face on that other sheet. Anyways, okay, so you can see the first sheet there marked key societies in the right-hand corner, which needs the upgraded concentric circle quadrant map. Anyways, I'll have to update this sheet before we play next week. This is what we developed during this first part of commissioning. So when you develop the Orion Quadrant, the main things you're choosing is who was Old Gold? Who are they now? Did they win? Did they lose? What happened to them? You also choose that for... choose that for Soul. Soul's involved, because we're humans playing this game. We should probably have Soul.
Of course.
You can make them totally almost nothing and be super out far in space and totally useless. Or you can make them the new power running everything. Whatever you want. And then there's a lateral society. And that is basically the other. Who were they? Were they involved with Old Gold directly? Were they involved with Soul Society directly? So on and so forth. Those are the 3 that we develop at the beginning of every campaign. Then you do contracts within that. We'll be moving on to our second contract with you. You can add other societies if you want. I'm tending to see that we don't really need it because you get more out of the factions than you get a lot of the societies. So here are our 3 societies right now. The Old Gold Society is known as the Tarnished Interregnum now. Before, as you can see, pre-war concept was Space Rome. They were an expeditionary force from the Crimson Quadrant. There's 3 other quadrants. We're in Orion. There's Crimson, Athenium, and what is the other one? Brain fart. Anyways, and another one. And anyways, so they are from Crimson Quadrant, and they, of course, best speak Skria. Skria is a language from the Crimson Quadrant. That's set in the book. That's part of the base stuff. That's what the language is always called. We decide what that language is like during play, but those are just the basics. They consolidated power in Orion through technological dominance, but we all knew they were corrupted and evil because they had lots of organized crime. And so that moves through this. Their post-war concept is now nostalgic Ronin. They fell. They're considered a spacer society now. They don't even really have any land. They don't have a lot of places because they didn't sign the compact right away. Because they wanted to win. And that was their downfall. Their ambition is to restore the home system. And they're imperious, which means they have 2 dominant species, and all other species are considered minor. So if you look at the Soul Society, they're the independent peoples of Soul. Their pre-war concept is gold rush capitalism. But now they are more of they're a province, and their post-war concept is a loose council of independent worlds. Their capitalistic kind of thing kind of fell apart a bit, and now they're just kind of this anarchist, they don't have a big top-level government that really runs anything. They are cosmopolitan, so they have no minor species. Every species is considered dominant. They're just all equal and lovey. So you can see that they have a local leader council, so they pretty much have to kind of UN to get anything to go, so probably a sluggish government, that sort of thing. The lateral society. This is the current. This is the cardinal society now. Cardinal means central. They all the maps in this are concentric circle maps. They're all big like space-time cones, and so the people down at the bottom, that's the easiest place to get. So they're most powerful. And this is the group that runs it. Before the wars, they were subjugated by Old Gold, and they are now the empowered bureaucracy. They were pretty much bureaucrats and census takers and tax takers and various things like that for Old Gold, and then they just took over. And now they run everything. Technically. So they have an anocracy, which is a house system of government, where every house has a different job. So you'll hear a lot of the factions are house of this, house of that, and they have a certain interest in something. Like, internal military group would be a certain house. Their hegemony, so only the Anak are on the top, and they're the dominant species. All their species are considered minor.
Interesting.
And so they're the ones who technically run everything. The other thing we came up with during this was this timeline. And so that's all the sort of things that happened in time. You'll see there's negative, that's before the Cardinal Compact, that's during the Golden Age. Although the 500 years before is during the war, and then the Cardinal Compact at 0. Cool.
There you go.
Okay, this is sounding real boring now. But anyway, so there's a lot of factions. This is where it's going to get more interesting for you specifically. Is Zumi Musk IG. Zumi Musk Intergalactic is part of the Independent Peoples of Seoul. They're a corporation, and they are your patron. You were opposing the Marquis de Roux. They're a people's revolutionary group, and they speak French. And Interchat, which is the language of Orion. The Orion Quadrant language is called Interchat.
Okay.
There's also the faction called the Eighth Avatar, which is like a hacker mafia group. And that is the 3 factions we've developed for the Independent Peoples of Seoul so far. You can create your own tonight. The Tarnished Interregnum, we only have 1 for them. It's a church. It's called the Seekers of the Return. They, of course, speak Skria. And then finally, we have 2 factions for our Cardinal Society, the House of Luria, which is a pretty much they're technically in charge in alliance with XMI over our current sector, which is called Cassini. And then there's a House of Sosparetta, which is a university-based house. They're like a house of learning and exploration. That's the supposed thing. Everybody has their main language, which is just Interchat, and then they have sectorial languages, as you notice. So House of Luria has Phononym, and sectorial language for House of Sosparetta is Rigelian. Fun,
interesting.
Right?
Yeah, very fun.
And then we have several different... We have 3 developed species right now. We can add another species log. We have humans, and you'll have all the stats for them. Septox, kind of like desert octopus. Your captain is a Septox. The Atlantis, which are kind of like... They have their concept space angels. They're super tall. They have calcified skin. They lay eggs. They have feathers. And we don't know a lot about them, but they're basically chalky and tall avians with wing arms and a tail. And then we have the Anak, which are a slug-like metallic species with a shell.
Huh.
So that's the entire setting. And this, as you can see at the beginning there, is Cassini, which is a funny looking map, but that is because it is a concentric circle map.
Right.
And it's just made of hexagons. So when you flatten one of those out, you get weird holes in interesting locations. Anyways, so let's actually get on to actual commissioning, because that's boring otherwise. So after they created this, they also went through and created their ship. So if you look, you have access to the FRS Auspicious, which is the name of their ship, of your ship. So this is kind of like a group template in a lot of ways. You fly the scout flag. You're an exploration vessel. You have certain tactics, agile and strategic, that determined the kind of upgrades you had for the ship. That's what gave you your depth analyzer, level 2, and that sort of thing. You have certain ship modules, and their locations are all listed down in the section thing. And you have a certain amount of cargo. You have a letter of marque down here, which basically says what you're about. It's a summary of that, and the name of your patron commissioner. You also have a launch on board your ship, which is called the Lucky Star, and your old pilot used to fly it. Your ship no longer has a pilot, official pilot. So someone should have at least a couple skill if they want to fly their own ship.
I was actually thinking of being a pilot, so this is perfect.
Well, there you go. So let's get on to this part, which is actually commissioning, now that I've managed to bore anyone who happens to pay attention to this video completely off stream. Excellent. Good, no one's even watching. Cool. Let's look at your crew sheet. Okay, so we start explaining all the stuff I already explained.
Right.
So we got skills and specialties. They come in the departments. We're talking page 30 right now.
Okay.
Then there's a breakdown of the crew kit, which is all stuff you get to use in the game. I'll explain them as we come up with it. So, let's go into departments. We need to choose 2 stations.
Okay.
And the departments they belong to. So, the communications department is all about talking.
Right.
And dealing with people, economy. Interface is that's where research and stuff is. That's just interfacing with like the data flow, comms, defending yourself on the data flow, and doing research. It's that general kind of area. So it's your Google Foo and your ability to operate a computer. Politic is talking to large groups of people, which is normally a marketing test if you're going to give a speech. Doing stuff like that, perhaps online. Examining administration, or gathering information from large groups, like if you just wander through bars and talk to 1 or 2 people and that sort of thing. Sophantology, sophonts are people. That's the sophont means wise. It's based on sapient root word. Anyways, insight, read D&D version of insight. It's understanding of an individual. Performance, if you want to lie, dance, sing, any of that sort of stuff, that's performance. Persuasion, that's just talking directly to someone, not necessarily lying to them or anything. Above that, we had economy, accounting. If you want to analyze someone's records for clues or any of that sort of thing, understanding money, that's accounting. Commerce is dealing with local credits, local monies. The money in this game is the XP. You carry it around in money called residual value, which is the value of your cargo. That is dealt with via trade most of the time, and it's also trade is used a lot in negotiation, which is how you get what you're supposed to do in the game. Commerce, on the other hand, if you go down to a planet and you bought the privilege to have some money, you can use the points for your money along with your commerce skill to buy something.
Okay.
So if you want to rent a dinosaur to go riding around on into the jungle, which happened to last contract, this is what you would do it with commerce. Trade is when you're dealing with big things like governments and cargo and stuff. Commerce is when you're dealing with cash, credits, whatever. Finally, culture, we got your anthropology, history, and linguistics. Linguistics, understanding language. History is understanding stuff that came behind. And anthropology is just understanding stuff about people's, like, their culture that isn't history linguistics. Bad explanation. Anyways, I'm over-explaining everything. So then we got operations. I told you the difference between athletics and fitness. You can tell a lot of things by the specialties. So legerdemain, that's like sleight of tentacle. Melee, that's using weapons and stuff, which includes your multi-tool. Your multi-tool can be used in hand-to-hand combat as like a sword. It's a bit like, kind of like almost a little bit like a square kind of weapon, and the pulse can come out the top or the front, and it can be pulsed quickly and in a short burst, so you can use it like a lightsaber.
Nice.
Awesome. And martial arts is more of a fitness thing, because when it comes to martial arts, it's more about being able to... It's less about finesse and more about being able to punch and take punches and that sort of thing.
Right.
Endurance and strength. Geosciences is your main thing if you're going to go around and deal with dirt or architecture or things on the surface. Perception, that's looking around you. Alertness is passive. Analysis is analyzing individual things. Surveys, lots of stuff. If you're going to be a pilot, you'll care about piloting. It comes in 3 varieties. Archaic vehicles, that's other vehicles. Things that aren't using zero-point technology. Pulse drive, those are small vehicles. They use a little pulse drive. So it's like the technology like shoots out a tractor beam that makes your vehicle move. Well, grav drive encases your vehicle and slides it through space-time.
Okay.
So it's a very different approach. Your ship will use grav drive, your launch will use pulse drive, and everything else, whether it's similar or not. Finally, we got the engineering. We got biosciences. That's, I think, pretty obvious. You get the medicine. Biomechanics, which is like anytime you deal with any sort of augmentation. Agriculture, anytime you're going to deal with it on the ground. So if it's like, I'm going to sample this material, that's a agriculture test. Field dynamics, that's your shields and your holograms and your folding space. Anytime you deal with space and energy as a field. Pulse projection, this is your shooting things. With an away weaponry. Artillery, that's using a very large one, like those aboard your ship, called pulse arrays. Or tractor mechanics. Either of those things, except instead of trying to do that, you shoot a pulse at it that changes its gravitation. You're basically changing how space-time affects something.
Okay.
Fun, right? Inscription, this is your hacking, tracing networks, and coding. This is programming skill. You're inscribing zero-point technologies on space-time. Literally. So that's how it's all stored. Your gun and stuff is just an anchor that keeps that stuff from just disappearing back into the native energy that it came from. So
all right.
They're called anchors. And anyways. Finally, mechatronics. This is archaic technologies. Like, if you come to Earth and want to do stuff, you're going to use a lot of mechatronics. Like Earth of the past, like our place, not the current Earth. But it also includes mechanics, like fixing a door, or blowing up a door, or picking a lock. Material sciences is also real important because it includes, I don't know, if you want to cut through a wall or repair armor, or any of those sorts of things. There you go. That's all the skills in much too much detail. So you wanted to be a pilot. You were as your first choice.
I did. So
you did,
what?
But not anymore. Not after.
No. No. I still want to be a pilot. Piloting is good. It's good that our ship doesn't crash into planets/suns/other things. This is something.
So let me check what everybody else has as their thing, so we can talk about that. So Audie is a mechanic and a gunner.
Okay.
So he has 2. He's an engineering. He has 2 engineering specialties. Zatol, your captain and squid about town, is a steward and shield engineer. He has a comms and engineering station.
Okay.
So just so you know what you're dealing with. So you are probably talking, you're going to have a one-off station for sure. So choose ops on the first thing.
Got it.
There you go. And then choose pilot.
Of course. There we go.
So As you can see in the book, a pilot gets expertise in pilot. Crazy.
Oh!
Who would have thought that, right?
Who would have thought? Yeah. So that means does that mean I start with 3 in it, or does that just mean?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
You
awesome.
start with a maxed skill in pilot. Okay, so your trained skill is perception. So you take your perception at 2 dice.
Cool.
There you go. So that's why they're untrained, trained, and expertise. Okay, and then finally, you also get 2. You get to add 2 dice in the 2 specialties of your choice.
In ops or just in general?
In pilot.
And pilot is specifically.
Yes, so I was supposed to say, for your expertise skill, you get 2 specialties of your choice.
All right.
In your trained skill, you're going to get 1.
Okay. I mean, I need to know how to fly the ship, so grav drive. And what is the away vehicle? Is it like a shuttle?
It is like a little... Did you see the most recent Destiny? Where there are
not
guys
really.
flying around in that little bumblebee? It's like that. It's like a little shuttle.
Okay.
That has fits 2 people, but can carry a trailer, and then you have multiple different trailers that you can attach to the back.
Okay.
And it's like got a shield station and a pilot station, and that's it. And it connects directly into your personal area network, and so you have to use your own reactor on it and stuff. So
it's a space truck, is what I'm hearing.
it is a mule, like in Firefly.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing for skills, generalizing is quite a good idea because you always get these points.
Okay.
When it comes to your crew kit, which we're going to go into in a second, specializing is slightly better because you have to spend money to get those things. You have to spend charge. We'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, so yes. Which other specialty would you like in pilot?
I think I'll do pulse drive just for the mule.
Yeah, there you go.
Gotta push it out.
Standard build. Okay.
Look,
cool.
I'm here. I am a spacer. This is what I do.
Yes,
I do
indeed.
spacecraft. No landcraft. No, thank you.
Okay, so you get 2 tools from the listed tool selection.
Okay.
So you can upgrade 2 tools. You basically get 2 points in any of the... Or no, you have to choose 2 different tools. Okay, so you get your scanner, reactor, or launch. So when it comes to launch, you can spend whatever you want. The launch is already done, so it would make more sense if you spent on the scanner and the reactor.
Right. What was that? Okay. Probably. So
Okay. So what you're doing here, you see the scanner.
Yes.
And it says what it is. It's detection. It says its range, and then it lists mods.
Okay.
So these are the modifiers. You can always use your scanner. You can always do all of these things. But you only get extra dice if you spend 1 charge from your reactor on one of these, and then you get the number of dice listed.
Okay.
So say you have a survey sensor of 3, you spend a charge, you get 3 extra dice. Say you have a depth analyzer of 1, you spend 1 charge, you get 1 die.
Okay.
Say you have 0, you spend 1 charge, you're not getting anything, so you're not allowed to. But if you spend 2, you can get 1 die.
Okay.
So it's... You can see there's a bit of a... Okay, more is good, but it is nice to always have something to spend. You'll see on a lot of them, like range compensator, you only get to use that if you're using your scanner at range, at a distance.
Okay.
Multiple regions, the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, it might make more sense to do survey sensor until you kind of maxed it out, and then you put other things into those things if you want.
Okay.
So survey is if you're doing an area. Depth is if you're doing one thing, because you're analyzing something. And scanners are usually used for analyzing its physicality and stuff. There's no life science in my game, because life science aren't a thing. That doesn't make any sense.
What exactly is... What's multiple region in relation to these?
Okay, so the game is a zone-based game like Fate.
Right.
But being science fiction, zones are small. So I've actually defined the game a lot more by regions. So a region is like, at a way scale, a region is like an apartment, or it could be an entire part of a football field or something like that. And then there's a bunch of zones inside that. But maps don't tend to have zones. We just define them up narratively because it just makes a messy map if you divide it up really, really tiny. I don't know if you ever drawn a Fate map, but they get kind of weird real quick. You've got lots of little dots, squares everywhere.
Yeah.
Shapes.
For this, I am going to be putting my stuff in scanner because that makes sense. Let's do...
Yeah, because so what you're getting is you get to upgrade 2 tools from the listed selections. So you have to choose. You got 3 tools, and you get to upgrade 2 of them.
You get to upgrade 2 of them. Okay.
So scanner, reactor, or launch. I'll let you add to the launch, so you just showed up and upgraded the launch if you want to.
Nah, I'll do reactor and scanner. That makes more sense.
So the only thing you can do in the reactor, this easy chest, is increase its capacity.
Okay. So it just goes from 3 to 4, basically.
Yeah, so just click on the thing. There you go. Cool. Don't touch that. The charge is down here when you're actually using it.
Okay.
And we'll make sure. I think the minimum is 2. I think you start with 2, but I'll double check when we get to that section.
And
so
then,
the other choice, the real choice, is what you do with the scanner.
Scanner. Okay. So depth is single target. Survey is multiple targets. Multi-region is essentially other regions that are not your own, and then range compensator is better at range.
But when you're doing multiple regions, you can still use the survey sensor, or sometimes, if it makes sense, the depth analyzer. You can use more than one mod at a time. You just spend more than 1 point.
All right. I think survey sensor makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Or I think what I'm going for. So
there you go.
So is it 1, 2? How many?
Just click 1. You only get 1.
Click 1. I get 1. Okay, cool.
You'll get some later. Don't worry.
Good.
Okay, so now the harder thing. You need a second station.
Oh boy. All right. So I was really thinking mechanic, but we already have a mechanic. So I was thinking either hacker, so inscription, or something in that. And then it's just like ops/communication things. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So we currently have a shield engineer.
Right.
In engineering, we have a steward, which is really good at talking to individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Audie is a gunner and a mechanic. So mechanic, remember, that's more like mechanical things.
Right.
So you could be a bit of a... So if you're actually installing like 0-point stuff, it's usually inscription.
Okay.
You could also be a doctor if you wanted, because biotech is big. So yeah, you could take inscription if you wanted. If you wanted to talk to people, you could be a cultural expert, which would be... what did I name it? I renamed this one so many times.
Linguist, probably?
Linguist, yes.
Okay.
There's also, you could be an economy expert or a researcher if you want to go that direction. It's up to you. There's only really a couple of people who are already in stations right now, so...
Okay. I think I'm going to go with hacker then, do inscription.
Cool. Okay, inscription...
So, engineering, programmer, not hacker.
Yeah, programmer.
Right.
Because, you're not a hacker. You're a good person.
Yeah, I'm not a hacker, I swear.
Okay, so for this, let's start with your expertise. You get an expertise die, so it gives you, in inscription, you get both your training and your expertise.
Yay.
And then you get... 2 specialties of your choice in inscription.
Let's go with hack and... What's the difference in tracing and coding for this? Tracing is tracing other things, and coding is creating your own, I assume?
Yeah. So coding is really useful for, like, projects and stuff mostly. Sometimes it's useful for other things. Sometimes it's useful for... Yeah, it's used a lot in projects. Like, if you're going to do a project and you want to build, like, a bomb's operating system or something, it'd be coding.
Okay.
If you want to find an enemy via their comm system in real life or to hack them, it's trace.
And I'll do trace.
Okay.
Putting something in hack.
People love the tracing. Okay, cool. So the next thing you get, because programmers should probably be good at this, you get interface.
Hey! Cool.
And then you get one specialty in that.
Oh, did I also get one specialty in perception from my
You
piloting?
did. We forgot to put it down. You can choose. Alertness is passive. Analysis is if you're in depth, use a lot in investigation. And survey is if you're kind of searching an area or that sort of thing, or scanning.
Yeah. I'm going to go with alertness.
Oakley dokley.
Yeah. And then interface, I get one?
Yes, you get your training, and interface, you get one thing. So network defense, if you're attacked. Research,
right.
If you do this a lot during negotiation. It's almost always the first thing people do. Or comms, if you want to secure comms, hack comms, all that sort of thing, like get into tachyon stuff. That's what comms are good for.
Ooh, all three of them sound good for me.
Well, you'll get extra points later, perhaps.
True. Considering I'm doing hack and trace and I'm being a pilot, probably I'll go with comms. Cool. Do that. Yeah.
And besides, you can change this at the beginning of a session. Okay, so as a programmer, you have 3 tools to choose from: reactor, link, and shield, and you get 3 of them.
Okay.
So the link, let me introduce you to the link. So the link on a human fits kind of around the ear and has a little piece that comes forward and projects a hologram over your eyes and basically is the center of your personal area network and is pretty much your online kind of tool.
So it's an AR display, basically.
It has an AR display. It controls all your other stuff. So basically, when you're firing your gun, you're doing it. This thing scans your brain waves, does BCI, brain control interface, and gives you AR display for everything. So you know how people talk in D&D about what they're going to do and talk about strategy against the person they're talking to right now? Well, that's something you're actually doing in real life in this, because you can just mind text people. Oh,
I have done... I played... about 6 months in an Eclipse Phase game. We definitely had that.
Yes, this is less actually in your mind, because this is just a brain control interface, and then you're just getting feedback via AR, which can include audio, so you can hear a voice, but it's not actually their mind. Hearing. It's just translated. So you can't actually do anything with someone's brain.
Good. There's no
Eclipse Phase.
Yeah, no psychics. No
psychics unless they're brought in as a special thing for the game, which can totally be done. But there's no psychics in the core everyday of our world. That's a special crazy shit that's happening.
Yeah. All right. So I'm definitely doing something for Link then, because I'm a programmer. Gotta do Link. Gotta do it.
Indeed. So you got your comms browser. So this is your Google, your Edge, your Chrome. That's your comms browser. This is like, if you're doing research, it's that. Crash, that's actually like getting extra points to do more damage to things.
Ooh.
This is another way you can spend it. So you see these damage is 2 triangles. So that increases the damage by 2 above the normal for depending how you roll. So the game has kind of a bracketed outcome system like Apocalypse World.
Right.
So if you roll 1 or 2 successes, you do 1 damage. If you roll 3 or more successes, you do 3 damage. Plus this, so you do 5 or 3 kind of thing. But if you spend on Crash and then you put charge into Crash, you could increase that by a lot. When you're hacking someone's system and you're trying to shut down their systems and stuff, that's when that's used. Development kit, that's for programming and for hacking. So if you want extra dice for hacking people, this is your Visual Studio, pop it up, root kit, blah, 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 hacker term number 6. That's what this thing is. Finally, hardening, that's pretty much your Link armor. So when you're using network defense to defend yourself, you would put a die, or you put charge into hardening to help you.
Right. Okay. From those descriptions, dev kit sounds super useful, but I think I'm going to do com browser.
Everybody loves to be able to research.
Yes, indeed.
Dude. Okay, so the other one you get is in shield or reactor. You already put a point in reactor. So
did.
what capacity does, it allows you to bring your charge up to 4 before it overcharges. If it overcharges, that has to be spent the next time you can spend a point.
Right.
So sometimes you might be able to do a test that you could spend it, but you only have the overcharge. Well, it will make you spend 2 points. You have to spend the overcharge and the charge. And one charge because you don't have a depth analyzer. So to get any points, you have to spend 2. So that's overcharge is a little bit crappy that way. But if you're maxing out at 4 anyways and you get overcharge, it's great. But otherwise, we're talking your shields. Shields are really good for defending yourself. So we got kinetics, which is punches, rocks, asteroids, that sort of jazz. Energy, which is blaster bolts from your multi-tool, from other people's blasters, from radiation, from fire. Holo projector. That's a weird one. Why would anyone put it? It's actually the most popular because it's also how you stealth.
Yeah, camouflage.
So if you want an alien versus predator, you're using your holo projector. And then multi-field, if you really like to protect your friends, you might want to put something in this.
My friends, you know.
Yeah. Those guys.
Yeah, you know.
You can still multi-field without it and still use it, but it kind of covers both. It's kind of funky because of the way it works. So say you have points in just kinetic deflector, you can't use that to defend for blaster bolts. But multi-field would allow you to do both, but only if you're bringing other people in, and it's a bit weird. So, yeah.
Does shield only apply to you, like outside of multi-field, only apply to you, or does it also apply to ship? Or is ship has independent shields of you?
Ship has its own shields. This is your personal gear. Your launch also has its own shield.
Alright. I think I'm going to do reactor then.
Oh, really?
Up the reactor to 5. Yeah.
Okay.
All the reactor power.
Okay, because this increases your power. I'll tell you how you you gain charge though by doing criticals.
Oh, okay. So maybe I won't do that.
Doing overwhelming by doing tasks that you are crappy at. So if the difficulty is double what you're doing, that's when you're gaining charge. You also gain charge at the beginning of the session in a bunch of different ways, depending if you follow your drive and all that sort of stuff.
That...
Just like you're bringing it to 4 or to 5, I thought I would tell you.
Yeah, that might be more worth it. God.
So it's not like you start at full capacity every session.
Yeah. That makes more sense. It's okay. Let's do multi-field. I like it being a little bit quirky and just being like, hey, if I'm getting shot, the rest of you are probably getting shot too. So like, we're gonna deal with that.
Yeah, everybody does have their own shields too, though, so it's up to you.
Yeah. Oh, this is not working, or it's not allowing me to do multi-field. Yeah, well, because I tried putting in multi-field and it did not work.
Here, let me check.
And now I can't. Now I can't cancel it.
That is weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want it to be in holo projector, but now it is, I guess.
That's weird. Okay, and it's not showing up in the attributes or abilities at all.
Huh.
Actually, none of what you've done is showing up. Let me close this and reopen it. Oh, and of course, it disappeared.
Oh, I mean, some of the attributes it's showing. My attributes are showing.
Oh, now they are.
Yeah. Just not. Multi-field not working. Rip multi-field.
Okay,
doesn't want us to work.
Sec.
Okay.
Yeah, that one might. There might be just an error where I've made the same thing. I can fix it later. But,
cool.
No, that's the wrong one. I am trying to fix your. Because I close your. Oh, that's why. There we go. And. Box screw member. There we go. Okay, so shield holograph mode is right here. So when you get something you don't want, you can delete it from the attributes and abilities thing. So it's gone. And I don't know why it's not clicking.
I don't either.
Now, do you really want multi-field?
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's weird. No, it's just not being helpful.
It's really weird. Your game doesn't want me taking multi-field.
It's just not showing up. Multi-field's listed as 3 right now.
Well, all right then. I guess it's in 3 now.
So I put 1 in it.
Okay.
I will figure out why it isn't showing up on the sheet.
Okay.
Which is a bit odd.
Fine by me.
Okay, so you chose multi-field. Okay, cool. And so that is both of your stations. Cool. So next is wartime faction.
Right.
Okay, so normally we do this with a bunch of other people. So one of the things, first thing you choose is fellowship. Now, fellowship is basically whether or not you're sharing a faction or society with someone else, so that you can get together and talk about what this faction or society looks like.
Right.
But there's no one else here. It's just me and you. So this doesn't really matter, and it isn't written down on the sheet. So next is you choose the society that it belongs to, so we can figure out which one. Now, do any of the factions currently listed crank your gank? Any of the factions? Otherwise, we can write a new faction and put it into the society of your choice.
I mean, let's see. The 8th avatar is probably the closest to at least some of my character being I did strong push for programmer, but otherwise,
do you want to be like a criminal hacker dude? Because we can totally do that.
Yeah, maybe. I'm
that's
thinking
why it's there.
then yes, let's do it. I'm a criminal hacker. Let's do it.
Cool. Okay, so in your wartime faction, put down 8th avatar.
Cool.
And
done.
In type, choose
media. That's archetype.
Media.
It says.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Glorious hacker type over here.
Yeah, I meant to say archetype. Oh, okay. Because that's actually what they do. They're both media, right? So, there's an attitude thing that's listed for it. That's where you get the criminal part.
Oh, okay.
So you can decide some stuff about what they're like during the war, because this is a current position, but it was your wartime faction. So during the war, you worked for 8th Avatar. They might not have been called 8th Avatar at the time, but they aren't now. And they did whatever they do, and they worked for the Independent People's Soul. So maybe one of the warlords that controlled one of the things, or one of the corporations, maybe this was their hacker group or whatever. Maybe this was like their data flow warfare department. Yeah. And now they are just a hacker group. So you can decide that sort of thing. It doesn't matter for this particular stuff. So based on media, you are going to get a training and a specialty in a couple different skills.
Cool.
So interface, you get training in it, but you already have training.
No.
You lose it. No. This point, what we're going to do is we count everything afterwards, and then you're going to get put free points in things. So you just don't get it, but you do get your specialty in it. So you can put your specialty in now.
Excellent. Let's do, as a wartime hacker group, network defense.
There you go. Cool. I think you're the first person to ever choose that. Okay, so next is perception.
I already have 1 point in that.
Yep. So you're going to have a bunch of points to distribute at the end.
Awesome.
But you do get your specialty.
Let's do Sci-fi.
Okay. And then finally, field dynamics.
Which I do not have.
So you get to have training in that.
Yay.
And then you get to choose one of these things.
Astronavigation.
Okay.
Be a better pilot.
Okay, so astronavigation is less about piloting and more about folding space.
Oh. Well,
that'll help. You can be good at that.
That'll help for grav drive, right? I mean,
they don't work together. So basically, the way folding space works is you can only really do it from the edge of a system.
Okay.
And whenever you fold to the core of the system. So you appear right next to their largest mass, which is always the center of the system, and you're basically in orbit around whatever's at the core. So a black hole,
Okay.
2 stars, whatever.
Right.
So you're in there, and so say you travel somewhere and then you want to travel again, you have to fly across the entire system, which usually takes like at least a day. So that's where time comes in. The folding space is quite quick. It only takes 15 minutes. But it could take longer time for other people if you roll badly.
Oh.
So you can kind of go to the future or a little bit. Like you could skip a week. If time really matters to you, I can be like, well, you lost a week because you rolled badly on that part of the travel project.
Well, I'm glad I got something in that then. Feel like that may be useful.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so there you go. So that is everything.
Cool.
There's a bunch of stuff about choosing an attitude and stuff on them, but we've chosen one that already existed and that nobody had used. So you also get an association with them. It should already be marked in if I did this correctly. Oh, it just says 8.
Welp.
What the fuck? Come on.
8. Well, that's my connection. I mean, they are the 8th avatar after all.
Okay, I gotta check see what's going on because that really should be showing up as not just an 8.
Okay.
I don't even know where I'd be getting an 8 from. It's so weird. Roll 20. It's working on everyone else's sheets. Okay, so so pretty much you're going to start this with 1 die. Associations are like social tools.
Mm-hmm.
You have to spend charge on them the same way, but they automatically pretty much give you can gain points like that. So you'll have one with your species, one with your wartime faction, and then you'll gain them based on your contacts. So if you make friends and influence people, you'll have more connections. You also get a language.
Ooh.
So, what?
Hindi is the language of the 8th avatar.
You have to get, first thing you need to get is...
Oh, is probably interchat.
Well, you start with interchat because of your ship, which is listed down in the... I believe it was listed up in the ship commissioning. So click Add Prevalent Language.
Okay. And just select interchat.
And select it. Okay,
cool.
And then add sectoral language and put in Hindi.
Ooh. Exciting.
Cool. And that's everything for this. Okay, next is species.
Oh boy.
So, like before, there's a kindred thing where you get to choose whether or not you're going to be in the same species as someone else, and then you come up with that species together. But we're the only ones in the room. So, do you want to make a new species, or do you like one of the ones that was listed?
I don't know. The thing... So, only 2 of... I guess, like... The one that wouldn't work would be being our space angels, because I think that kind of goes against what I currently have for this character, at least thought-wise.
Not necessarily.
Maybe.
The societies are very multi-special, and even during the war that happened a lot. So basically, if you were a lattice, it would mean that you dropped out of Old Gold, or maybe you were never part of it, and you became part of this group. Maybe you're fighting for freedom. Maybe you agreed with the Anak or the humans or whatever. And who knows what point this was during the war. The wars were 500 years long.
True.
So everything changed. There was all sorts of groups all over the place. You could also be another Septox if you want. But yes, you can be a Lattice, Septox, or Anak, or we can make one. I can pop out a species creation sheet right now.
Ooh.
What do you think?
I think I want to do a new species. Just to see how that goes.
Cool. Let me see if I can find the damn thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do this the easy way then, because I can't find it. I'm just going to...
I see it.
Skies are blue. Okay, cool. And... change layers. And let's make a new species.
Yeah, let's do it.
I needed things to put in here. I don't know if I should. I might change that on the sheets. Anyways, okay, cool. So, so we have a certain amount in here, and then we have a certain amount that I have in my general species creation section.
Okay.
So we can go through the GM one if you want, where it's full out, or you can just come up with a concept of kind of the quick creation.
Okay.
It's up to you.
I'm still trying to think of like a good concept for this, so I think maybe going through more fully will probably help.
Okay.
Because that's why I was like, I don't know what I want here, and like none of the species that we already had really pulled me. That's why it's like that.
Those guys make them terrible characters.
Damn.
Buggers. Okay, cool. So species creation is on page 167.
Okay. Oh boy.
Okay, so you'll notice about the charts in the game that they all of them have choose and then a percentage map. So you technically can roll everything up in the game where it's appropriate randomly.
Oh, interesting.
So we come up with a concept, or if you can't come up with a concept, you just want to come up with something cool, you can choose from these charts and see what we make. Okay, so the first thing on the list is size. So are you thinking a tiny little character? Or are you thinking a normal size character?
I think tiny might be entertaining for this. We have a lot of sizes, so.
Okay, we're going to be tiny.
I'm starting to think more and more like space fairies would be entertaining. So. But I'm gonna go away from that a little bit. But that kind of size is definitely.
That's fine. I'm just joking. Okay, you're tiny. Okay, so a tiny is a height between 0.5 and 0.95 meters tall.
Great.
So you're thinking half a meter tall, or are you thinking closer to kind of close into that? Do you know meters?
I do. I may be an American, but I generally know meters.
I just because
hey,
it's the future, true. But
you gotta know. You gotta know.
Playing with people who aren't from the future.
Space Americans. More to the short side, like 0.6, 0.7 meters, probably.
Okay, let's go with 0.6. So, now if this might not be variable for your species.
Okay.
You might decide, hey, this isn't variable, so we're gonna put down 0.6. And then if it's a variable number, like we're gonna have one that's like, oh, this range is a lot, then we will put a range in here. But otherwise, we don't.
Sounds good.
Okay, so the next thing we need to choose is your mass. Now, this has a huge effect because, say, if you chose really short but really heavy, it means you're going to be much more stocky.
Yeah. I think since I've been talking about being like a spacer, so probably more.
We actually choose the build first.
Okay.
So there are several builds. You'll see the chart there. It goes to thin, slim, average, broad, squat, and square. And this determines on how high your mass is compared to your height.
Okay. I'm thinking probably either slim or average. Again, like being light, kind of more having an affinity to either space or like higher altitudes.
Yeah, I'm picturing the little tiny guy inside the head of the guy from Men in Black now. But anyway,
yeah.
So you're thinking slim or thin?
Probably.
Because you notice it matches a surface gravity, so we were saying that your world had a microgravity, which means you come from probably like an asteroid.
Yeah, I think slim. Slim.
So you come from a low gravity world.
Yeah.
And I wrote down slow because I said low gravity as I was trying to type slim. Okay, so slim. So this means we should choose on the lower end.
Yeah.
Between like 5 or 10 kilograms, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Let's go with 6. We got lots of 6s. It's fun.
Yeah, we're creating the devil here, you know.
There we go.
Just need another 6. Gonna have 6 limbs or something.
Well, you can choose multiple limbs. So you're choosing between 2 and 11 limbs. If you want to roll, you can. Now this includes tails and trunks. So a 6-limbed creature could be an elephant. It has 6 limbs.
True.
Humans have 4, but cats have 5. When we go, say we go to your world, say you're from this sector or something, if we went to your world, it would, one, be a really small world because it's got low gravity. It would also, all the creatures would have the similar amount of limbs. So they might have 5 compared to your 4, or 3 compared to your 4 kind of thing. But they'd be all within the same range. Because if you notice our planet, almost everything has the same number of limbs as we do.
Right.
Or similar. Because we used to be 5 limbs. We just actually atrophied 1.
Yes, of course.
Except the alien octopuses in the sea, which have alien DNA. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
Seriously,
weird.
Their DNA doesn't match anything else on the planet. They're like, what's going on with octopuses? That's weird.
That's so weird.
They're aliens. They're aliens.
They're aliens. They're gonna take over worlds.
You can roll if you want.
I'm thinking 4. I'm trying to decide between 4 or 5.
Well, do you want a trunk or a tail? You get to choose the number of manipulators, too.
That would do it.
That chooses whether or not they're hands or useless things or tentacles.
Yeah.
Or
I think
tentacles.
we'll go with 4. We'll do the 4-2 build on that one.
Okay, you want to be 4-2. Okay.
Yeah. Again, adding up to 6. Again, so many 6s.
Oh, everything. Okay, let's.
That one was unintentional. All the 6s are unintentional, but it's happening that way. So, guess we got that.
You don't want 4 manipulators, right? You don't want manipulator.
Nah. That'd be really cool, but
it can be cool. You can be cool. You're allowed to be.
Actually, Nah, I'm gonna do 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna do 2.
We're like tiny human at this point. Cool.
Pretty. So far, yes. That'll change.
Now we're looking at cutis. So cutis is your skin and your annexia, which is whatever's above your skin. So humans have a fleshy cutis and a hair annexia. And other species could have things like exoskeletons or symbiotic colony of life forms on their outer skin. And their skin could be metallic. So yes, this is going to really determine a lot about your character. So
right. So
we have the Alatus. They have the calcified cutis with feathers. Humans, like we said, the Aunok, I believe, had none as their annexia and fleshy. Oh no, they might have had a shell. Yes, they have a shell on the back. So yes, we have a couple shells going on and stuff like that. So
okay,
what is your choice? Do you want an exoskeleton? So these two things, you kind of choose them together, really a lot.
Right. Symbiotic coral. Damn. Let's do. I'm trying to think what this species is gonna look like essentially, and this definitely
determines a lot about what it looks like. Yes.
Yeah. Jeez. I think we'll go with let's do paraderm. So we got some bark skin, and then
okay.
Yeah, paraderm, and then for the I'm going between leaves and none leaves and exoskeleton right now.
Yes, paraderm's just not in my what do you call it? Okay. Well, leaves would be very planty.
Yeah, it would be very on brand for this currently having paraderm.
We're talking a tiny plant person.
Yeah.
What was the other choice? Symbiotic? No. Exoskeleton?
Exoskeleton or none.
It's up to you, man.
All right. Let's do external skeleton.
Exoskeleton.
Let's do exoskeleton. I'm intrigued by having a bark with an exoskeleton over it.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, this could be like where you see your skin's like this, and then you just have an exoskeleton on the outside, and the skin pokes through, so you have this bark with like these woody exoskeleton around it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That supports your body.
Yeah.
Okay, I just have to remember how to spell skeleton properly. It's such a weird word, actually, especially when you try to put stuff in front of it, and then you get confused. Okay, cool. So we have a weird exoskeleton plant person going on here. Cool.
Yeah.
So now we have an atmospheric cycle. So we are going to be choosing gases that you breathe. And now you can choose these in either order. As it says, if you roll an odd number, you're supposed to choose one.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the different types of things. So respiration is required by all species because it causes catalyzation of stuff from the air, pretty much.
Of course.
So, what do we want to breathe?
I was thinking nitrogen, and then breathe out, and then oxygen.
Nitrogen, oxygen breather. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, can I copy from this? Is it going to let me? Yeah, there we go. Copy. Okay, cool. Okay, and you're going to be a nitrogen and oxygen breather.
Yeah.
I think we might even have one of those on board.
You've got a nitrogen. You have a nitrogen ammonia breather.
Oh yes, the much more popular nitrogen ammonia. Cool. Consumption.
Oh boy.
Okay, so we've got hemovores, detrivores, herbivores, omnivores, carnivores, and geophagy. Because there's no geovores as a word.
Oh.
I know.
Disappointment.
I might change it to that because it sounds weird.
Geovore. We eat earth.
Pretty much, yeah. You'd eat inorganic materials.
I actually want to do that. Geophagy sounds amazing. Let's do this.
Okay, we're going geophagy. So you
Just
need dirt.
Making a weird ass species. I love it. I love this species.
Awesome. I'm glad. Okay, so next is your gender strategy. So every species has a different gender strategy. So we've got species that are monomorphs, where all the sexes are asexual. And we have dimorphic, female, male, trimorphic, male, female, or female, male, and neuter. Conditional transition, where certain conditions, you change gender between female and male.
Huh.
And seasonal transition, you do it based on a season. And then you have simultaneously for intersex, where you have all the sexual organs you need all the time.
Huh.
Females are the essential essential gender, or essential sex,
Yes.
because they have the ability to reproduce. So
Yeah.
they are the first one on the list, and then we start getting less and less important to the reproduction process as you go out on the list.
Right.
With trimorphic, there are neuters.
Yeah. I'm deciding between trimorphic and simultaneous.
Well, it depends. Do you want to have a bunch of other species, and do you want to have variants based on different genders, or do you want everybody to be kind of the same?
I think we'll do trimorphic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So in the original setting, the default setting, there's a trimorphic species, and the males and females are very similar and kind of small, while the neuters of the species are the second largest species in the game, or in the standard setting with bunny ears, and have deep voices. And they're all these trunked knuckle walking species, so they're just these massive things, and they walk around. And you can't tell the difference between the males or females that look more like a monkey in size.
Huh.
Okay,
Cool.
so, and then we're going to have female, male, and neuter. And you will have to choose one of these when you make your character.
Right.
So you can do that whenever you like. Okay, so finally, partition. This is how you give birth to your creatures, your babies. How do you make them? So we got spores, budding. This is really common for monomorphs. Live in a pouch, live in the environment. Eggs, external, you dropped eggs in a pouch, and parasitic eggs.
Oh boy.
And then that determines the number of young as well.
Yeah. I think we'll go with I don't even egg pouch. Let's do that.
Whoa, egg pouched plant people. Oh.
Yeah. Gonna go. It's getting real. This is a very strange species we got here.
Oh no, it's just not very Earth-like. That's fine.
Hey, they come from a low gravity planet and they have exoskeletons. There's a lot of things in here.
That's true. Okay, so you get 1d6 young every time. And that actually stays. We don't roll.
Okay.
That's just if you run across a pregnant individual, they will have 1d6 little babies in their pouch. Cool. Okay, so now we need a name.
Oh boy.
So, genus is kind of hard, but we can look at your subspecies aspect. Because you're sapiens, the second is always sapiens.
Right.
So it's something sapiens and then one of these subspecies. Now, if you're the only one around, it's usually sapiens sapiens.
Okay.
But if there's like 5 different related species on your planet, or that you engineered yourselves, or that sort of thing, you would choose a different one.
Right. Okay.
Like this Planus and all that sort of stuff.
One of the options is godlike. Oh, jeez.
Yes. Obviously, whatever that species is got a bit of an ego. So.
I think we'll actually go with just having sapiens for that one.
Okay, so what sort of genus we want? We want something planty?
Yeah, I think something planty will work because
I find the best way to do this is to figure out what type of plant you're referring to, look up its scientific name.
Scientific name. All right. Considering what we have right now, it's very tree-like. But like it's because it's exoskeleton and like bark. So
well, bark is like, if you think about it, a lot of things have bark that aren't very tree-like.
True.
Any of the any plants with kind of a harder outer set that's kind of slightly rough would be considered to have a bark.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the big kind of planty differences, you would have things like the mushroom one, which is Pilopelius.
All right.
That's the only one that's planty that isn't bark. So.
Interesting. One of the first things that came into my head was doing Joshua Tree, which is
what is the Joshua tree's scientific name?
Yucca. Yucca.
Do you want to use that?
Yeah, I think that'll be cool.
Yucca. You're a Yucca sapien sapien, and what is the short version, which should be based on Yucca in some way that you guys call yourselves? Yucines?
Yucine. Yeah, Yucine would be. Yeah.
So,
there we go.
1C in Yucine? Like that?
Where am I seeing it? It hasn't updated on mine yet. That's why.
Oh, because I haven't released.
Yeah. Oh, it's with a Y. Well, actually, J works. J works for that.
Oh, yeah, it's supposed to be the Y?
It's supposed to be with a Y.
Oh, that looks better.
Yeah.
I just had Joshua Tree in my brain, so.
It makes sense. Yeah, Yucine would be good.
Or you could have... The biggest problem with this is it's coming out like yuck. It's that yuck factor.
Yeah. So it could be
Yukon.
Ooh.
Yukon.
Yeah.
There, you're just Yukon.
Yukon.
The Yukon. Okay. So you can write a concept there when you want, but the other things that we're coming up with right now are demographics. So we have to decide, we have to look at our societies that we have and decide
Mhm.
whether you're minor, rare, or dominant in each of those societies. So if you're rare, we don't write you down at all.
Oh, okay.
If you are minor, we will record you in this list.
Mhm.
And so in it, let's go through them. So Tarnished Anctrinum, were you a minor species? You can't be dominant in that because there's already two.
Yeah. I think based on the fact that at least actually no. I think they didn't really exist in the Tarnished Interregnum. They're
Okay.
rare species.
Okay. So we don't have to do anything then.
Yeah.
And then we just have to decide about the other one. So in Independent People's Soul, were you one of the many dominant species in that?
Yes.
Okay. Why won't it scroll? Anyways, were you one of the minor species in the Articulums of Diomedes?
I would say yes. I think so.
Okay. So you showed up and the just Old Gold didn't really take you in, and so you didn't kind of follow them off into space very much.
Pretty much,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. They're kind of Arthurian knights a little bit now, so
Yeah.
it's unsurprising they wouldn't take weird little tiny plant people.
I mean, their now post-war thing is nostalgic Ronin, so that makes sense.
Yeah, they're kind of like Arthurian knights looking for their like leader to bring them back to their homeland, kind of thing.
Yeah. They're missing King Arthur.
Yeah. So, heritage. Okay, so this is the next thing. We're going to come up and record 3 interesting attitudes for the species along with the corresponding biological element.
Okay.
So, we look at your species, and then we are going to write down a couple different, like 3 different heritage things. Are you stubborn, like your bark? Are you, like, that sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Are you patient because you're tree-like? Those sorts of things is what we're coming up with. So, like, you can make a new one, or you can use elements that have already been created.
I was thinking one of them would be rebellious.
Okay, and
Like
what
as a
biological element is this considered to represent?
Ooh. Small, like the tiny and slim. Like they got parts of it, like they got left behind by Old Gold because Old Gold didn't think it would amount to anything. That kind of thing.
So are we talking more like halflings, like they're sneaky?
Or
are we talking overlooked?
Overlooked.
Underappreciated? That's like a general thing, like your heritage people consider you're kind of underappreciated?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so maybe overlooked is better for heritage.
Maybe inconspicuous is more of actual.
Yes, inconspicuous. That works.
And then I guess I'll put it in brackets. Okay, and this is not spelled right. What did I spell wrong? Inconspicuous. INCONSP. Isn't that right?
I can't see it, so.
Oh.
There's another U. It's UOUS, I'm pretty sure. At the end. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Tracking all the U's. I'm Canadian. I should track all the damn U's. Okay, so so we need 3 more.
3
You
more
notice
or 2?
Two
Or
more.
2 more.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you see, the other ones are different because I didn't have the whole biological element at that point when we made those species. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, look, they're different.
I want to do something based on the fact that they're geophagy. That they have geophagy. But I'm trying to think what based on that.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to write John Geophagy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these can be kind of considered like stereotypes.
Okay.
Well, like that's a sort of thing. Like like humans are considered curious and all this sort of stuff. Whether
Right.
it's entirely true about every individual or any of them at all is
Yeah.
entirely up to you when you play.
Something related to the fact that people are like, you're dirt eaters, and they're like, sure, we are.
Well, you probably have to eat not just standard dirt, right?
Well,
You're
yeah,
probably gonna have to
probably.
eat
Like actual minerals, yeah.
yeah, like something important. Like I had a species that was a geophage, and they had metallic exoskeleton stuff. So they basically had to eat like a lot of precious and like high-end metals and stuff that were melted by acid because they had like this acid trait and stuff. So
Nice.
that's the sort of thing you can do with geophagy if you want.
For inorganic materials. I don't know what would come out of that, like heritage-wise, but I want something.
It's something
better.
easy to like smelly, earthy,
Maybe
gross.
Earthy is good. Gross might also be one, but I think earthy is more the, especially if we're going with like the plant concept. Earthy definitely is.
Yeah, so you kind of smell like, and you can finally, if you really want to go full on plant concept, maybe you're very still. Your species doesn't move around very much. Or maybe you want to go counter that, make your character like your species is supposed to be really hyperactive.
I think hyperactive would be cool for that, and that would be.
So I almost wonder if I should put this after traits, because traits are the things that actually affect your character.
Yeah.
We will look at those in a second.
Right.
And we will choose, I think we'll choose what makes this, the biological thing, in a sec. Let's go through the next part. Appearance.
Okay.
We'll write that in variance in a second. And you need a language of origin. Are you from this place? Where are you from? Because you have a relationship with the other Orion species.
So I feel like Orion would make sense then.
Okay, so we can name your world and stuff.
Okay.
And decide what do you want to be from this sector? Cassini,
No.
or do you want to be from somewhere else like most other people?
Somewhere else.
Okay, so we need a name for that, and we need a name for the sector. We can make either of those up. Let's just call this one Trello. And then we just need a name for your homeworld. What do you want to call it? This comes up in conversation. It's nice to have it written down.
Right. Let's do. I'm looking at like what the other homeworlds are currently called, and
Earth? That's a weird
Earth. Oh, Earth. Ugh. But
Karst, Tonka, in the Cathal sector.
in the Cthulhu sector. Let's do.
No, they're actually from the Patel sector, the squid people.
Right. Yeah. Let's do Jota. Jota.
Jota. And that, you can use that as a word to mean dirt if you want, or whatever your planet would be named after, like ours. Okay,
Exactly.
So let's get into traits. This really, really actually matters to your character a lot more. So you get 6 points to spend in this. Now we have a good look at it. There are now, and it's not listed in the commissioning part yet, I have to mirror this over there.
Okay.
Also, trivial ones. So this would allow you to make androids, ancient symbiotes, uplifted, and variant species. It does nothing to your character, it's just a thing about your character. You can have one of these if you want, and it fits your setting. But normally, you're getting functional ones. Functional ones give you an ability, and will also give you dice that when you spend a charge, you get to use as well.
Right.
So that includes amphibious, flyer, morphic, where you can change your face to look like other members of your species if you want. Resilient means you get an extra resilient slot, which is one of the condition slots. Or stealthy means you get chameleon skin. This is worth 3 points out of your 6.
Damn.
Okay, then we've got features. Features don't give you a new ability, but they give you the extra dice.
Right.
So climber, fast, agile, hidden pouch, jumper, strong, and natural weapons. Those are worth 2 points. Then finally, we have survival traits. These give you a special type of armor to one sort of thing. So, this is like caustic coating, pathogen filters, plasma insulation, pressure shell, radiation barrier, Arctic insulation, and desert protection. This tells a lot about your homeworld, and you get an extra little piece of armor based on this. But it's useful, but not like useful in combat and stuff. So that's why it's only worth 1 point.
Okay.
Like, it's the sort of thing that's useful because you don't have to add it to your EVA suit. Your EVA suit's like a big armor suit where you can spend supply to give it different armor types.
Right.
So that's like multiple types, yeah. So, what are you thinking makes sense for your character? Do you want the new resilient?
Agile would make sense for hyperactive.
Okay, that's 2 points.
Let's see.
So do you want your character to be live? Is that why they're agile?
Yeah.
Or are they?
Because they're small. Like that's like they're like as a species they're small and they're lithe, so they're probably pretty quick, which is why they're hyperactive.
Okay. Because there was also fast, which means you're just advanced at moving, but not agile. So like a cheetah. Cheetahs are fast, but they're not necessarily agile. I don't know if you've seen cheetahs trip. It's hilarious. But they're like a big doofus cat. They're like running around. They're so cute. I don't know. I've seen them.
No, I think it's I think agile makes more sense.
Yeah, I was just double checking.
Yeah.
Cool. So your hyperactivity comes from your innate agility trait. Cool. Yeah. That's why I'm like, hey, we can leave some of this for the traits part.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 points out of 6. You have 4 points remaining. You can buy a functional trait, like if you want your exoskeleton to have made you particularly resilient, or if you want your bark to have a chameleonic functionality where you kind of blend in, you can gain chameleon skin, which basically allows you to do what you can do with your shields anyways, but you don't have to use your shields. Or you could have gills, or you could fly somehow. You have wings.
Yeah.
That would mean we'd have to decide where they are. It'd probably mean one of your limbs are now wings. You could go with something natural weapons, which means like claws or something. Or
I was thinking morphic.
Really?
Yeah. Because they're inconspicuous, and also the fact that they both have bark and exoskeleton. Basically, the exoskeleton with the bark in order to change their appearance.
So you can change your appearance like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought you actually might go for a jumper, and you made this little agile jumping character.
I thought about that.
Okay, so we're talking morphic.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put that first though. Okay, so that is, you have 1 point left, so you have to buy a survival trait.
Yeah.
Which one makes sense? This tells a ton about your planet.
Yeah, it does. Considering where they're from, let's see.
We don't know a lot about it, but if you have desert protection, it's a desert. If you have Arctic protection, it's Arctic.
Yeah.
If it's radiation barrier, you might have radiation issues.
Yeah. Or I go back on this and be like, I'm gonna get jumper, and then another.
You can do that if you want.
Yeah. Because my thought for their homeworld is that they had to they lived in high altitudes. They lived mostly in mountains, but
that's cool.
None of
that's Arctic.
That is Arctic. So.
But if you do want to go back and change something, we can change it.
Yeah.
If you lifted everything and done the math.
Yeah.
You do have a pouch, so the hidden pouch thing would also make sense.
Yeah. They are... Oh, yeah. Probably pouch and jumper would also make sense in that case, then.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, let's do that. I don't care.
I don't know, whatever you want. Okay, cool. So this is a pretty fun little alien, the species. I like it.
Yeah. I'm still thinking they're coming from like mountains, but it's not like it's like Arctic environment. It's like more like probably something more like the Andes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like maybe there's lots of woods or they're like little trees and they run around there. They don't have Arctic protection or anything, but they come from a slightly higher thing. Maybe they have to wear clothes.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
the thing. We have people,
exactly.
they don't have Arctic protection at all that live in the Andes.
Exactly.
Like, you can meet them. They're actual humans. Okay, cool. So, unless you wanted something specific on this trivial one, like there's another variant of your species out there and you were genetic engineered your way, or if you're Goa'uld or something, or you're uplifted, like you were just some little creature running around and they brought your species up. Otherwise, I think it's fine this way.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're going
Okay,
that
so
way.
we just need... Can you fill in the concept? Because I think you have a general idea. And then we need to fill in an appearance, or you can just leave that and we'll do it later.
I think we'll do that later. So I need
Okay,
to go.
so what you're going to need to do is put all of this stuff
Up here.
on your sheet. Where do you want... How do your characters vary? How do your species vary? Do all the genders look exactly the same? You have 3 different genders. Unless
I don't
change that.
No, I think I'm gonna keep trimorphic. I think there's a variance. I think there's definitely a variance.
What is
I almost thought that we had morphic still, and I was like, wait, we don't have morphic anymore.
No, you don't that.
It's based on this color of your bark and your exoskeleton.
Ah. So exoskeleton shape?
Yes.
Color?
The shape of the exoskeleton and then the color, bark color.
Okay, is that individual or gender variance?
Can it be both?
Yeah, but...
Yeah. Well,
so if it's gendered, that's the first part of it.
Yeah,
So
I think there's like...
bark colors or gendered exoskeleton?
Gendered... I'd say gendered exoskeleton.
Because you can make very detailed this, or you cannot. It gets a little more difficult when you're making varied.
Yeah.
You make the very too big, it's like starts getting okay.
Yeah. All right then.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you have gendered exoskeletons and individual bark colors.
Yes.
Is there gendered facial features, or is it just all down to the...
I think it's all just...
not gendered.
Yeah, I don't think facial features is gendered.
Cool. Okay, that's just because I spelled it with an A. That's just because I spelled it Canadian style. Okay, so we're talking individual bark color. So I'm just gonna go with that. If you come up with more, come up with some crazy ideas, you can log in at any time and just change it, man. Add it.
Cool.
Make it your own. Okay, cool. So we just need to put this stuff on your sheet. So where is your sheet?
I filled in most of it already.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you just have to choose one of those sexes.
Yeah, one of the 3. Let's go. Roll a D3. I'm gonna go with female for this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to character creation. There, we did a whole species creation right in the middle of character creation.
There we go.
Yes, so it's called species prep, and we're going back to commissioning. Cool. Okay, so where is it? It's on page
36.
Background.
35.
38.
Oh, 38. Okay, we're at background. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so you're from Orion. It will mean that you get your own language.
Oh.
So record the prevalent language from the quadrant or one of the sectoral languages the species spoke. So we need to come up with a language that your species spoke from Orion.
Oh boy.
Okay. So you want me to make something up?
Yeah, because I'm like, they're not going to speak any Earth languages. So they're gonna need their own language.
There, that's a language, right?
Arbalest? Totally.
There you go. Okay, and Yukon is already listed as a species association. So that means when you meet others of your species, you can spend a charge and automatically get an extra die.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
Kinship.
cool. Yeah. Okay, so background. This determines what you did during the war.
Oh.
So we have a big list. It's on page 39.
Right.
It is massive and amazing. And whoever wrote it was a fucking genius. I don't know who that was, but
I don't know.
amazing.
Who was it? All right. Cop. What else do we have here? Personality. Worker.
So, yeah, if you want to always have been like a hacker, there are a couple choices for that. Like gravitronic technician, holographer. Okay. Holographers are people who, basically the cameramans of the future. Gravitronic technicians are experts who had some sort of expertise in like the data flow and 0-point technologies. You could have also been a scholar on that side. If you want to be in front of the camera at some point during it, like you were a news anchor or like an actor or something, that's a streamer. Because it's futuristic, right?
Because it's almost like we're doing that right now.
Almost. And then there's things like citizen. If you just had a normal citizen kind of job, then that's it. Or you could be a naval officer. Fit your piloting aspect.
Maybe. I'm probably not citizen, especially because my association was with the 8th Avatar.
Well, they're now criminals, but they might not have been before.
True. They're now criminals. Damn criminals. Thinking freedom fighter-esque, so maybe
There's a couple military ones on here.
Yeah.
There's also like you might have been a leader or something at one point.
Yeah.
There was naval officer, peacekeeper, soldier.
Let's do streamer. I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So record that as your background.
Got it.
So you're going to get a train to die for each of the skills, plus a specialty in that skill.
Awesome. So
and then you're also going to get one tool mod out of this. So as a streamer, you get one in culture, so move your culture up to trained.
Awesome.
And you get a specialty in it.
I'm gonna go with linguistics.
Interesting. Okay. And then economy.
Right. What was accounting again? I remember commerce.
Okay, so accounting is pretty much understanding like how money works and stuff. It's really used a lot for like investigation kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
And that sort of thing. Like if you want to analyze someone's like spending habits, or see where someone spent something, or be able to tell if somebody should have more money than they say they do, or any of that sort of stuff. It's knowing, understanding money, not just being able to use money.
All right. And trade is like macroeconomics, and commerce is more like micro.
Yeah, so like when you do your negotiation, which you do at the beginning of every single contract, so we'll be doing one next week, trade is one of the main skills you can use. Also, if you want to make deals on other planets to start calling cargo, which is a great way of making more money. I mean, last project, the crew, they got above breaking even, but they didn't make a lot of money. They're like, you should have traded some stuff. You went to like 3 different planets.
Yeah. I'll think of going to trade then. Gotta have those contracts.
There you go. Okay, cool. So yeah, at any time you can go and add another. You can talk to people and add another like an addendum to your contract. So you use the same contract sheet and use that addendum. So you're like, okay, we bought this much stuff, and then you take it somewhere else, and then you sell that much stuff. Yeah,
Beautiful.
good fun. Okay, so
And then
I haven't done this yet. Politics.
Awesome. Probably marketing.
You like to give speeches, do you?
I mean, I got to be in front of a camera, so it's either It would either be marketing or gather information. So
either way, marketing
I think I'll do
totally makes sense.
Let's do marketing.
Okay, so finally you get one mod in Link or Reactor.
Okay. We done? We have not. Oh, we have done Link. I forgot.
Yes, so you can upgrade your development kit like you wanted to before.
Yes,
if you want, or you can upgrade your Chrome browser more, or any of the others.
I'm gonna do dev kit.
I was just reminding you that you were very excited about dev kit.
I was very excited. We're getting
long ago before we went and made an alien species up.
Yes.
Okay, so next, this doesn't give you anything, but it tells us a lot about why you're here. So, this is your relationship with the patron and how you became a character aboard the ship.
Oh.
Were you indentured? Are you devoted to your patron's cause? Were you mentored? Is this a big opportunity for you? Is this professional? You were just hired. They hired you and you now joined the crew and gave up your entire life. Because you're a free spacer now. You don't have any relationships in the same way you used to. You know how as a person in the United States you have like a credit card and a SIN and all those sorts of things, and you can buy land and be president and stuff like that. All those sorts of things. You can't do that anymore because you're a free spacer. You can't do any of that. To get privileges to even have money, you have to add them to a contract.
Oh.
So you're now like a cross between being a crazy like superpowered person who can do whatever the hell they want and a slave. Like
this is like
you're a contractor in space with no rights.
This is very French Foreign Legion. Like that's what it seems like.
You're in the French Foreign Legion. That is a good example. I gotta remember that one. So there are several. Oh, finally, one I forgot is coerced. They just made you join the crew. Maybe blackmailed you. Who knows?
I think coerced is it would work for this.
Put it down. Maybe they caught your hacking.
Maybe they are mega corporations, so
yeah. Oh, maybe you were dumb and streamed one of your major hacks on them, and they caught you somehow. I don't know, because they watched your video.
Yeah. Before it was
so good at marketing.
Look, but it was before it was taken down. It would have been just fine, but
it was amazing. Okay, so next is drive. So drive is really important because if you take a risk for this, you are going to gain charge next time you play. So if you take a risk for freedom, on the ideal of freedom somehow, and you can explain that to me and convince this group that you did that, then you next time will gain charge when we start up.
Right.
And you can either charge you or the ship, depending on how maxed you charged.
Your motivation to pursue your patron's interests, as well as what you want to do. Okay.
Yes. So there is also retirement, by the way. Retirement is this project that you do between every contract. The other crew members all got to do one. And pretty much it's like a downtime action a little bit. But it is a project that kind of goes through your entire career as you kind of build up this reserve of points. And then they spend them on your retirement plans.
Right.
As you move forward. So, I mean, some of your drive could be pursuing things like that, because to do one of those at the end, the difficulty is based on the opportunities you find during play.
Right.
So when you find that mine that you want to go and plunder, you can't really do that because you're a free spacer, but you keep that as an opportunity in between contracts. That can be your downtime action kind of thing. That's your retirement project thing.
Okay.
So your drive could totally lead towards that. So if you're going to go around and take a big risk for excitement involving creating an opportunity for yourself, all sorts of stuff like that. That's why I brought it up.
Right.
So it's not just your patron. You're not just doing contracts. You can kind of do the things you want to do as well.
Okay. looking at this right now. Excitement sounds like a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Also, justice, or vengeance.
Okay.
Those all sound good.
So
One of those.
vengeance be cool. We already have at least one excitement in our group. I think we had 2 for the longest time, which means they did lots of crazy shit all the time.
Yeah.
I think freedom would also might make sense from some of the description that I've been getting. But...
Oh yeah. Well, of course, I got coerced by this corporation.
Well, not just that. Like, maybe you just want to give other people freedom and stuff. You're a hacker.
I am a hacker.
And you are a
Freedom.
pirate.
Yeah, freedom. Oh yeah, freedom would 100% work. Let's do that. Freedom.
Okay. And
freedom.
Anytime you don't gain points for this, you can change it. So at the beginning of that, we're like, I didn't get points for that because I totally didn't do anything for freedom. You can change that to vengeance.
Vengeance.
There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're now on the wrap up.
Right.
Okay, so now is the part where we kind of double check your character sheet, make sure you didn't screw up. Mostly we count and all those points you didn't get in trained.
I was about to say,
right now.
we got a bunch of free points to throw in.
The first thing we do is we review, and then we'll get the extra things. So, do you have 2 expertise skills?
Yes.
Do you have 10 trained skills?
I have 1, 2... Does that include the expertise skills?
No. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's just how many trained dice do you
1, 2,
have?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 2 left over.
Okay, and do you have 12 specialty dice?
Okay, that's 5, 9, yeah. So I'm just missing the 2 train skills.
Yeah, which always happens. Well, often happens. I think I've seen one player not do it, but it's pretty rare. Okay, so do you have 2 tools for your first department? 2,
yes, because 3, I believe it was reactor
and then 2 for your second,
scanner.
and then 1 background tool. So you should have a total of 5 tools listed.
What did I do for... Oh, I got a dev kit for background tool. So yes.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Like 4.
Why am I missing 1?
Background. What was your second department? Yeah, the multi-field on the shield, which isn't showing.
Oh, right,
for
multi-field.
No apparent reason.
That's right.
Okay, so we've got all those. Okay, so now we're customizing. If you do not have your 10 tries, take your training and 2 more. You're missing 2 trained skills.
Okay.
And then you get 2 more on top of that. So you get to add 4 trained skills.
4? Oh, awesome.
So you get 12 out of the 15 trained. So there's 3 skills that you basically are at 1 die on.
Okay. So I'm going to put 1 into self-ontology, and then I got 3 left. Oh boy.
You're social, and you're bad at running and jumping. And
wait, I should put points. I should put points into all those because that's my species. Can't be having that.
Yeah, I mean you could. You also don't have any points in pulse projection, which is guns or mechatronics. But if you put a bunch of points into like melee, you could just be a hand-to-hand dude, which is hilarious since you're like Otis sized.
I am gonna put a point in athletics, and then I have 2 points left. I'm a hacker. I don't know machines. I know computers. Apparently,
you can hack people's pans, but if they don't have them, it's problematic. Which means you do bypass some of their armor, but you also can't kill them.
Oh,
so you kind of just can do damage like the middle.
Considering another species thing of like, I'm a geophage, so probably should have geosciences.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I eat animals, and I might not know much about animals.
That's true, but that would be agriculture, and you could if you're a doctor, you're gonna have that anyway. It's that kind of thing.
True. Okay, and then
I have one left.
More. So you got pulse projection, which is shooting things if you like to shoot things. Mechatronics if you like mechanics. Biosciences if you want to do some medicine.
Or fitness.
Or fitness if you like to survive radiated environments or punch people. Or lift things without tools.
I think we'll do pulse projection.
Okay.
I obviously learned how to shoot in VR. That's all we know.
There we go. That's super fun. Okay, cool. So now you get 8 more skill specialties.
Oh, wow.
And you have to have at least one specialty in each department. Your total specialties should be 20 at the end of this.
Okay. I do have one specialty in each department. That is
there you
thing.
go. Well,
Yeah,
you
so
can technically end up super concentrated and have nothing in like operations. It happens a lot if you choose like double comms or double engineering or something. Or double ops, I think, is super common because I think a couple of the ops give you your secondary skill in ops.
Okay.
Like
So
if you're an athletics special expert, you I think get fitness as well. Like
Right. So I have 8 to do. Great. Spread this around. Well, we need coding. Gotta have coding. What else to throw it into?
And remember,
Some
these
more-
all add up. So if you put into something you're untrained in, you can still specialties in them.
Right.
But
Then
you could also take like away weaponry or tractor mechanics if you want to lift things with your gun because you're not very strong. That sort of things.
very true. Or just let other people do the lifting, because why should I do the lifting?
Yeah, make the human do it.
Yeah, God, I'm here to hack things, man, and talk to people.
Hack the galaxy.
Hack the galaxy. We're gonna do, because we need some more. I think probably anthropology, understanding culture, not history. I don't know that. I know memes. Let's be real. I know languages and memes. And then sophontology.
Okay, so one of the things that really matters here is you can't move specialties outside of department.
Oh, okay.
So even
Then I
if you don't
can't
know
do
what
that.
it is, you can put them wherever you want
Okay.
now. But when you're changing them later, you can't move them outside of department. So if you want to have a real even character, have an even amount of specialties in every department. If you want to have a character super specialized, you can put a bunch in there. But if you're
Right.
like, oh, I don't need the skill, or it doesn't do what I thought it did because Christoph's explanations suck, you can move it, but you just can't move it out of the department. So you can end up with everything in engineering. We have a character who has very little in comms, and he just wanted to do social stuff, and it's pretty funny because he can't.
Right.
Can't even move points into it. It's like,
No.
'cause
No.
I'm 2 dice in this whole specialty.
Let's. Oh, parkour. Yes. Gotta. I can parkour. I can do that.
Yeah, parkour is like the movement one.
Cool.
It's where if you're running and jumping and that sort of thing. I mean, you got jumpers, so you're gonna be freaking amazing at this.
Yeah. Right. Let's do analysis. Let's do performance. How many do I have? I have to have up to 20, and I currently have like 7 in that, 6 in that, and 4 in that. So I have 3 left, I think.
So you
Yeah.
don't have anything in the weapons ones or in shield mechanics. Just because people always want to shoot things, and then when they don't put skills in there, I'm like, oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Have fun. And I'm like, okay, it's a difficulty 5. You have 2 dice.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to charge, but good luck.
Let's put one of shield mechanics. Holography is it's
Stealth, making
Stealth.
holograms.
Yeah, let's put one into that too. So I got 2 left then.
Okay, so you now have 6, and
7
8,
or 8.
2.
Oh, I have 8.
4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Okay.
7.
So you have more in communications, despite the fact you don't have a communication station, which is hilarious.
Let's do.
Yeah, you have 1 point left, right?
I have 2 points left because
12
right
plus
now.
7 is
Oh yeah, I have 1 point left. It's 19.
yeah. That's what I
So
thought.
I've won.
That was wrong. So I was like, what? Go back to Yada, you.
You know what? I should be able to know how to drive a car, archaic vehicle.
Okay. Cool. There you go. So I'm gonna give you 7 in this. So you'll probably move them around, like when you realize there's no archaic vehicles around, you'll just move it out.
Damn it!
Okay, so you will also have 5 more mods for your crew kit.
Damn. Okay.
So, concentrating these does have an advantage, but I wish this would show up. I don't know why it's not showing up. It's really weird.
What's not showing up?
Oh, I just don't know why that die isn't showing up. It's very strange.
Oh, yeah. So I have 5 points, essentially, to put in these tools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. So multi-tool is it's your multi-tool. It does everything.
Yeah, it allows you to tractor beam things. You can use it as a tool to, like, pull a screw out or cut a hole in a wall. And you can use it as a weapon. So basically what it does is it flings a pulse of energy, of, I think it's dark matter, dark energy or something. I forget which one it was. But it flings a pulse of that, which is basically a little knot of space-time at things. And it can either alter space-time so that the gravity changes, i.e. just spin a little nut or pick someone up, or it can, smash them at a sub-molecular level. So it does things like that. Scanner, on the other hand, analyzes space-time itself and can tell you where things are based on bumps in space-time.
Right. Okay.
Well, the link basically gives you access to all the data flow stuff.
Yeah.
And the shield uses 0-point technology to put lots of little tiny shields up.
Right.
Which can protect you from light or actual damage or whatever. And then Biochem Kit is basically a master biotech kit. It allows you to take samples, do medical stuff, poison people, make things, that sort of stuff. And then your reactor, it gives you charge to put onto other things.
Of course. So let's do... you said it was better to specialize in tools, right?
Well, because when you spend 1 point, you get that number of dice. So you have a certain amount of charge at the beginning, and then that can increase.
Right. Okay. Let's do...
And the charge is also spent on things like your agility or your jump from your species. I'm adding it right now. Or to your hidden pouch.
We're going to do... I'm going to add one to survey sensor. I'm going to... Let's see.
But if you want to spend a round, it's not a big deal because you don't have a ton. So
True.
It's pretty awesome to be able to put a point in to defend yourself against rocks or radiation.
Don't hit me, please. Yeah. I am going to put one into stealth, actually. And then I'm going to put some more into... So I've used 2. Put one into another one to comm browser, another one to dev kit, and then...
So it's 1, 3...
Let's see.
Okay, so charged pulse on your multi-tool allows you to add damage to your attacks. Disruptor targeter allows you to target things using disruptor pulses.
Right.
Tractor lifter helps you move things around. So when you hit stuff and moving large objects. Utility manipulator is all about the fine manipulation. So you're using like tiny little pulses along to like open doors or whatever. Mechanics really need utility manipulator a lot, while like soldiers want disruptor targeter. Disruptor targeter is used also when you use it like a sword. It's just the targeting with it. It's better feedback from how the disruption's going to hit the thing and all that stuff.
Okay. Okay, so if I want to be a Jedi or a soldier, I should have disruptor targeter. But
yes.
That is not this character.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to be a Jedi, you put everything into melee and disruptor targeter and charged pulse, and then you go cut people up with your multi-tool.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a proper citizen, better person, you put everything in utility manipulator, and then you go fix shit.
Or you're going to be like me, ignore multi-tool entirely. Be like, I could. I only have 1 point left, so we're going to throw it in. Let's do range compensator.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so that's done. So you should have 13 mods in total with your initial capacity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
9.
12, 13. Because multi-field should be there.
Yeah, multi-field should be there. But it's not, because weird
It's on the
things.
sheet. It's just not showing up. Which is really weird because it's exactly the same type of field as the one above it. It's just not working.
That's so weird.
I don't know why.
I don't
HTML
either.
Sucks, man. I'll say it right now. If the people who invented HTML want to yell at me about it, they can. But it's just really irritating.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So do you have expertise in culture?
Not in culture, no.
Okay. Do you have a point in linguistics?
I do.
You get one more die, or you get one more language.
Wow. Okay.
So you should currently have one for your patron, which was Interchat, one for your wartime faction, which was Hindi, and one for your species,
which is Arbalest.
You can learn languages in play by rolling a high amount on a linguistics test, and then you just get the language.
Oh, okay. So I'm seeing the languages that I currently see, like Interchat, Scray, and then like Mandarin, Mandarin, French, Hindi, which I already have, and then like a couple other languages that
if you want to learn another prevalent language, Skrio would be probably the best choice because it's spoken more. Because the players on this one, which was interesting for me anyways, decided to kind of make two of their societies from the same quadrant. So the other two quadrants, Nobelis is the name of the other one, I forgot it earlier, and Athenium, they're not that well represented in our sector. So
weird. I think I'm gonna actually, because I gotta give it to my patron. Did teach me something. Mandarin. That's my other language.
You know Mandarin. So add that as a sectoral language. And we're almost done.
Cool.
A long session. Okay,
what does Interchat sound like? Is it like Space English or like...
We kind of get to decide that. I've had a lot of people, because I called it Interchat, the internet meme language thing comes up a lot. I think it's funny, so it's fine. But yeah, it can be pretty much anything. It's pretty much a combination of the bigger languages based on the background of Orion in Orion. And the data flow has been in existence for the entire Rise throughout the... because Old Gold already had the data flow, they're already kind of using it. They got it from Athenium. They kind of invented it, but they already had brought it over. Anyways,
okay.
So the only other thing you have to do is, if you're joining the crew, you take 6 debt.
6 what now?
So if you look at your retirement chart at the very bottom, you now have 6 debt.
Oh.
Okay.
Great.
So the way this works is retirement projects can increase your shares.
Okay.
And when your shares outnumber your debt, you have to start making certain choices. And then you buy your shares with reserve. So when you do your first test, you're going to get some points in the reserve. And then when you want to spend residual value, like complex materials on stuff, and and it's kind of expensive, then you can start gaining shares. And then so this basically determines how you end the game.
Okay.
So if you end the game with 0 reserve, or 0 shares and 6 debt, you're a homeless person.
Great.
You're a drifter living on some drift. It's really shitty. If you end up with a really high number above your debt, you're going to be living the high life. You might be a power person in whatever faction. And so we're going to record a faction that you're interested in.
Okay.
And you're going to be writing retirement plans based on the opportunities you're seizing and that sort of thing. So it kind of builds this backstory of what you're trying to do to get out of the life.
Okay. Cool. Do I have to choose a faction now, or is that...
No, you choose you have to choose it once your shares outnumber your debt.
Okay.
And your debt can be increased if you screw up.
Ooh.
So, Adi had that happen to him, and I didn't... I wussed out, and then I read the rules, and I'm like, you have to do this. I'm like, okay, I guess I have to do that, because I had points. So I had to up his 1 to 3, which is one of the things I can do with my resource, which I put in this cool little cup.
Ooh,
I put dice in here when you screw up during negotiation, or times where it won't exactly harm you, or when you just got a little too many dice above the threshold, I put them in here. I think you currently have 8, which is a lot of dice.
Damn!
So I can just fuck with you guys. So if you roll a 0, you fail.
Oh,
and I can up that to a -3 by spending 3 dice. And then even badder things happen.
Great.
Okay.
That's gonna be me when I have to try being a medic and I can't.
Yes, well, we'll see. I try to do the most fun times. Okay, so last thing is your alias. And we need to record your player name, so put your player name there. So I
That'd be a me. That'd be a...
Yeah.
I mean, I could just put my name I use on all of my other things, but hey,
whatever.
We know my name.
So
here.
your alias is pretty much, because we're in the future thing, I used alias instead of name because names can change. They're all going to be probably listed on your data flow, like history or profile page.
Of course.
Former aliases, but you can go with any sort of name you want.
Okay.
So, like one in the book, this character, we called him Kingfisher Powell. I had a cool character named, like, Napoleon 62 or something. Like, it's based on your culture and where you're from and your society. So you gotta probably have a hacker alias.
Probably.
From 8th Avatar. Like,
exactly.
What are they gonna call themselves? I don't know.
Oh, well, their language is Hindi.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, I don't know, maybe a number and some cool Hindi animal or something? Like,
oh, I have
what's
one.
Hindi for tree? I don't know.
I mean, I was going to do @Shiva and then spell Shiva with, like, numbers.
Well, you don't want to, like, insult anyone, though. That is a
That's
big
true.
god. That is a big god.
But we're also the 8th Avatar, man. Nah, I'm gonna think of something. I haven't really thought
Okay.
it.
So once you do that, we'll make sure we change the name of your crew member as well
Okay.
on your sheet, and we're done. That's all of character creation. It would have been real fast if I didn't over-explain the crap out of it, and we didn't make a whole species.
And we didn't make a whole species, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We made a new species. It's cool.
Cool.
We made a...
So...
We have
a second. So the only thing I never explained to you... by the way, I added your augmentations to your character sheet.
Oh. Cool.
So these are your natural traits. You can add more later. You can have up to 2 more of these, and then you can have several types of armor. This isn't showing either. What is going on? Okay, I gotta have a look at these sheets before next week. Okay, so one of the things you do have is you are an Anagath, and you do have a rebreather. Rebreathers allow you to breathe similar air. So you could hang around on Earth.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask, what are we breathing in the ship?
Probably nitrogen. You're copacetic, I think, because the captain is a nitrogen breather. It's just the human who's using his rebreather real hard. And these are installed in your body.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So you're not wearing a mask on your face. They're just installed. Right. It's just slightly less comfortable. It's a role-playing opportunity rather than a big character change. So here's your condition slots. You can see those. When you take damage, you mark these, and they turn into stuff like dice, or little X's or whatever. Patches. These are how you heal on the field.
Okay.
You can't actually heal, but when you heal, you're basically spending money. You're spending complex materials to heal them, and patches are more expensive to heal than condition slots.
Oh, okay.
Mostly. I think the integrity slot is slightly more expensive than the patch, but pretty much otherwise. Upkeep, when you advance your character, this increases from 0, but it's currently 0. Cool. EVA suit. You spend 1 supply to put stuff on your suit. So if you want combat armor, you add that. And then once you blow it, it's gone and basically ablate it and do more. So you currently have a ship suit. Think Star Trek, like Enterprise suit, or I think the crew's going with kind of the whatever clothing. So everybody's kind of dressed however they want.
Oh, okay.
And then you have a gel interior thing, the life support gel layer, and on the outside is a hard shell. And so you have one armor for each of those, unless you've upgraded your EVA suit, and then you can have more, which is what the little dots on the ends are. And so you get to choose these and change them as you wish. It just costs one supply every time you put a new one in. If you change it, it doesn't cost you another supply. You can just swap it out. You basically have a printer in your ready room where you get ready to go at the airlock. You just sit down, the suit comes over you. And otherwise you're wearing the ship suit all the time. So you can always have at least one armor.
Right.
That's most of the sheet. Besides this, that's everything else.
I have one question. Contacts is on here. We don't start with any contacts, I'm assuming. Then.
The captain, I believe, starts with the patron commissioner, but I don't think you do. No.
Okay. I have no contacts. No one knows me.
Nope. You will gain people as you go through. I'll double check to make sure that you shouldn't.
Right.
The only place I could think you would be listed in your wartime faction or something. Let me double check. I've written this thing so many times that... No, you don't start with that. Nope, sorry. You don't really know anybody yet.
Nope.
So these are significant characters you get to know. There's also stock characters in this game. So like standard soldier number 6 and that sort of thing. They're treated together as like one character. You can't really get to know them. If you really want to, I'll blade them out and make a significant character out of them or something.
Right.
But pretty much if you have contact with someone and in some way you make contact with them, they become a rival or they become a friend or a lover or whatever, then you add them to this list. And as soon as you have one of any importance, you usually get 2 association. I think acquaintances don't give you any, but that's also how you gain new associations too, so you get to know people. So this mechanic's gonna totally start feeding through everything. Okay.
I came up with a name for my character.
Ooh. Exciting.
I just have to actually remember how this is spelled. I'm trying to spell Sequoia, and I'm like, how do you actually spell Sequoia? There we go.
Oh, by the way, alias in this world, the word alias is an ampersand.
Is the @ sign? Okay, cool. Yeah. So I don't have to do that. I will put my actual name.
On the paper sheet, underneath the alias is like a little embossed @ sign, and underneath the ship one is a little hashtag.
There we go.
I think alias, the reason we use @ for names is because of alias. That's my random guess.
Yeah. So I have my...
Your lead speaks Sequoia. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. the leadest of Speak Sequoia. Okay. And then I have the actual Sequoia.
Nice. So you also have a description field you can fill out when you wish, and I think we're good.
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome.
We created a cool race.
Welcome aboard, Brock.
Thank you.
And next week you'll be showing up, and I'm sure the rest of the crew will be confused and love you. I mean, or probably... Well, you're not a human, at least. So. There's a whole anti-human thing going on with the ship crew. We'll see if it continues.
Oh, okay then.
Well, it's mostly because they're making fun of Paul, I think. But anyways, we'll see if you get on that bandwagon or not. Okay, I'll see you next week. How are you for times? Is 6 or 6:30 better?
Either's fine. 6 is probably better, considering
I will chat with the guys and find out what they think and whether or not they're both coming, or if I have to find another new member and spend quick time doing commissioning before next week again.
Just be like, hey, creating your own species takes a long time. Don't create your own species.
Yes, we already have 4 species. Oh, I got another one.
This is hey, we got 5 now, so 6 won't hurt, right?
No. Anyways, I'll see you later.
Yep.
Okay. Bye.
Sounds good. See you.